Freaking hell, Dan. £5 million trading account. What is that all about? That is serious money, mate.
Amazing, isn't it? I mean, it's just life changing, world changing. When I started trading, yeah, I had a decent amount of money to put in a trading account. But when I think about students having 5 grand, 10 grand to put in, and then trying to make a day's money, make something that can replace their job. It's possible, absolutely, and we teach people to do it. And I see people doing it, making 100, £200 a day, just with a 10 grand account. But when I put it in context of millions that you can get with funded trading, it's just game changer, absolute game changer for everyone and anyone. Anyone, for me now, can probably give up their job and trade for a living if they do it right with funded accounts. The scale is just amazing. It's absolutely amazing, mate. It's life changing for me. The scale that I can trade at now. But you got to know how to do it, and you got to be consistent, and you got to understand this funded account game.
Yeah, this funded world that we're in at the moment. How long have you been doing the funded account for?
So what's it been now? It's probably been about a year and a half, something like that. Yeah. And I at the beginning, I probably went out there and I broke them all and kind of tested them out and worked out what it was. But I think very early on, I realised the scale was it was all about scale and longevity. And actually, if you think of trading, a professional trader in a bank, that's generally what they're doing. And now you, as a retail trader, just no one who's gone to sort of financial school or spent an apprenticeship at 18 in a bank, you haven't done that. You've gone out, found something how to trade. And the scale is it can be life-changing, absolutely life-changing.
Well, we've seen the big influx of funded account companies throughout the trading community. It's been huge over the last 2 years. But once again, one thing that doesn't change is obviously a lot of people will be failing these accounts and reloading, buying more subscriptions and going again.
Yeah.
And, that will always happen in the retail world, mate. But, what about something...
I think if people are going to these funded accounts, right, with an idea, oh yeah, I can trade without any training, any plan, any strategy set up. I mean, I'm speaking to someone the other day, not one of our students, and he was just sort of saying, oh yeah, I did a bit of that because my son did some crypto, and I just jumped into the markets, and I made some money, and I thought this is amazing. And then day 2, day 3, he didn't make any money and he lost money.
He's hard breached,
Right. He said, I looked at some online stuff, some online sort of tutorials of it, and sort of taught myself. And I said, oh, right, how's that been going? And he said 2 years down the line, I've not made any money. And I thought to myself, what a waste of time. But there you go.
Well, learning how to trade's got to come first, doesn't it? The strategy, the risk management's got to be huge, isn't it? Because that's the thing. If you don't learn it's like trading normal. If you're discretionary trading your own account, you still got to manage the risk. It's
the biggest thing that the human can't, right? And obviously, with that was the other thing that was really eye-opening for me with funded, is actually it imposes a discipline, right? Because actually, the way they're set up is you have this drawdown. You can't draw down past a certain amount, and also a lot of them, unless you kind of tick otherwise, say that you've got to put a stop loss in. And I tell you what, I bet you, especially the amateur trader, the first thing they're probably thinking about is not where should my stop be, where is my risk. They're just thinking, oh, this looks really good. I'm going to buy this or whatever XYZ stock. And, with funded, that is in place, and they are looking for people who will be good, consistent traders who can manage the risk of their money. Ultimately, like any fund, if you like. So I think you have to get good. You have to get consistent. And when I was looking into it, I knew that this was a long-term thing. I've actually had amazing quick gains. It's been great. But I've also ploughed that in, reinvested to get it to a point where, I mean, you say 5 million, actually the complete capacity of the accounts I've got at the moment are probably closer to 10 if I scale them. So, it could be immense.
So what do you mean? Just to the people that are listening and watching, what do you mean £5 million scaling it to 10 million? What does that exactly mean?
So basically you get the evaluations, right? You buy the evaluations, and you can, different companies give you different sort of size of accounts, but generally most people are going for 50,000, 100,000, 200,000. But if you are consistent and you return consistent returns across a month, 2 months, 3 months, they differ from a funded account company. They generally, most of them on a single account, have a maximum scale of 2 million. Normally dollars. This is can be pounds. You can some of them are trade in pounds. But yeah, so if you have multiple accounts that you trade together, I mean, it's just exponential, really. It depends how many accounts you want. I find probably 4 or 5 accounts quite manageable. But yeah, some of them will scale you in the evaluation. Others, I mean, Stealth Trade is great, right? Because you get all the training, and you can start off with a relatively small evaluation and scale it, to be 1 million pretty quickly, right? So that's really nice, and you can have multiple accounts. So yeah, it's brilliant.
What do you mean multiple accounts? So do I log into one browser with one account, another account? I mean, or can I link these accounts together? I know that you spoke about that before. Linking these accounts, so it's just one click of a button, and boom, that trade gets dispersed in all these accounts.
Yeah, so that's exactly what I'm doing. I am trading. I'm making the same one trade, and then it's copying to other accounts. Okay, so and this is again something revolutionary for me. Let's just say in my normal trading account, I was taking a trade, say I was risking 250 quid to maybe make 600-700 quid, 500 quid, double that risk reward. Suddenly I'm scaling that with a much larger account size, and maybe I'm now risking £1,000 to make 2,000. I only actually have to do that one trade in the morning.
That's pretty cool. Yeah,
it's just that 2,000 win scales to four other accounts.
That's pretty cool, isn't it? Yeah.
And suddenly it makes $10,000 with one trade. Just, I mean, the levels are slightly different from provider and stuff like that, but it's and actually part of the journey I went on for probably the last 8 months was working out how to sort of get these copying correct and scaling right, and because there's different brokers and these sorts of things. But once I figured that out and got it right, it's just into normal trading mode. And like I said, I used to be really happy when I made 500 quid in a day in my normal account. It was a good day, you'd be happy.
Yeah.
That was the equivalent plus to my old wage, and it was sort of job done. But now it's just I'm effectively doing the same trade, the exact same trade. I'm not pushing it. I'm not risking anymore. In fact, if anything, this is the best bit about funded trading. I'm not risking any of my own money.
Well, this is the thing, it seems to, when it started booming, funded accounts, it seemed to be a young kids game.
Yeah.
I'm sure it still is. But I'm seeing now some of my mentorship students that are millionaires, sold businesses, large property portfolio, don't want to risk their own money when it comes to trading, and just wants to buy a 50 grand account, million, 250, £250,000 account, and go for it that way and use somebody else's money. Isn't that, that's great, isn't it?
It's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant, because with that scaling, it's amazing. But also, I can take that cash that was kept in my IG account or my Trade Nation account, and I can use that otherwise. I mean, actually, I can stick it in a bank account and get 5% return without doing anything. So actually, now there is a little bit more benefit to keeping a bit of cash. And like all, you've got to think of yourself as a bit of a fund manager, right?
Yeah.
Spreading your risk. I think back in the day, I put all my kind of capital that I had spare into a trading account and was kind of risking that, and a percentage of that. Whereas, and obviously, I had property and stuff like that as other parts of, I suppose, the whole fund.
Yeah, yeah,
Whereas now, and actually what it does is it makes you a better trader.
yeah. Because you're managing the risk, and that's because otherwise you're hard breached and you're out of the game.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there's that, but also for me, again, I suppose, trading is obviously about managing risk, but you still have to push the button.
mm.
And I think for some, and I've had this with my students, I have some students who struggle to push the button because they're scared, because they
Yeah.
are scared of taking risks. They're that kind of mentality. Whereas when they
Yeah,
suddenly get a funded account and they know it's not their money, yeah, they got to do the whole process and they got to manage everything and make sure they're managing risk. But actually, they're it's
easier.
releasing them from this tension.
Mm.
Even the wealthiest of people, if you lose 500 quid in 15, 20 seconds because you took a rubbish trade, it still affects you, right? Psychologically, even if you're worth millions,
Yeah,
probably
yeah.
affects you psychologically. And there's this big thing about
Not for long though.
psychology and trading. Yeah. um,
Yeah.
so I've, for me, funded trading psychologically has helped my trading and has helped my students without a doubt.
So the thing is, I wasn't wanting to talk about this, but we've already got our bot running on autopilot.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
you talk about pulling the trigger, placing a trade because they've had a losing trade or a series of losing trades before. They don't even freaking need to do that anymore, mate.
No.
I mean, I'm literally up 40% in my funded account.
Yeah.
I go to it. Sorry, not my funded, my bot, which is linked to my brokerage.
Yeah.
And I just say, right, and well, there's a video on it somewhere on our page somewhere, guys, and
check it out.
we talk about the £1 million strategy where the bot would just run and it produced £1 million by doing absolutely nothing besides setting it up.
Yeah.
But that's on another video. Check out that somewhere else. But yeah, I mean, it's a game changer, mate. All this, we're in the world of AI, and with the funded account linked to AI, it's bloody brilliant as well.
And do you know what when I got into trading, you realize it's a sort of a manual thing. You do your own analysis. You learn to trade. You perfect that. It's kind of a performance activity. You're discretionary trader. Buy, sell, manage your risk. That's all great, and it's all a great process. But I think the future is that, and you only have to look at the professional game with banks and stuff like that. They've all got a quant department. They've all got places, an algo department, where the machine is basically doing the practice of entering the trade, because we're human. Christ, I want to be off tango dancing and let the machine take the trade. And certainly if the machine's taking the trade and it's someone else's money in a funded account, I'm footloose and fancy free.
Yeah. There is a challenge, though. I must say, there is a challenge with funded accounts and linking your bot to it, because there are downsides to that. So I don't want to say it's easy, because some of them don't even allow bots, and you get hard breach as soon as they can they can identify that you're running a bot. So
you've got to read into the sort of facts of them. I mean, some of them do allow what they call EAs, or algorithmic trading, or bots. And so, I think it's all about risk with that. Again, this is something that we take people through that journey on when we talk to them about funded accounts, and obviously the bot trading it's all risk and time frame, right?
Yeah.
It's all about time frame with funded accounts. For me, it's playing that long game, but actually in the short game you can provide yourself a very, very nice income while you're scaling, which is amazing. I mean, some of the funded accounts give you a salary, for Christ's sakes, if you really want to get that and look out there. It's just unbelievable.
Enticing you into trade. Yeah. But if you can make success out of it, then it's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
It really is, mate.
It is amazing.
Okay.
How many have sort of popped up, and it's out there, and I haven't seen yet anyone really tell you how to pass them. I think that's where Stealth Trader's unique, where we actually give you videos how to trade and give you good education, because a lot of them they kind of talk a good talk and say we'll scale you and we'll give you a funded account, but just our goal, I mean, you said it when we were looking at Stealth Trader and Trading College's approach to funded accounts, was was to make this a success for our students.
Yeah, well, what's the point of doing it unless they're gonna pass the funded and get to the next level? It's all about teaching them how to trade and going back to that again and managing risk, getting the right strategy, fitting the strategy into their day and their lifestyle is really important because not everyone's got the privilege of you, mate, not having to work for a living, and so
I think as well, and I've seen this with a lot of my students, is actually now they're being much more, even with funded, they're being much more selective about where they might have been taking, let's just say they're taking 7, 8, 9 trades in a day, high frequency. They're actually only taking a couple because they only need a couple because of the scale with funded. It's just amazing. Cool. It is amazing.
Cheers, mate.
Nice one.
See you later.
See you later.
If you want to learn how to trade, then head over to tradingcollege.co.uk where we've got loads of free resources for you.